game week?
Feeling good. I think everybody just excited to finally really get going. Our first opponent at home versus the Bears. A good showcase for our team to really get started. And I think everybody's just excited finally to get going.
Robert, how different is this defense now?
Ours?
Right.
Or the Bears?
No, your defense.
Ours? Yeah, I think our defense is, I think flying around, I think really Jordan Fuller is really commanding the defense in the secondary. I think they're really playing sound. I think that's the biggest thing. I think the guys are just flying around, minimum mistakes, and really just executing and being where they're supposed to be.
And what about for you on the offensive side? Is it different?
I would say right now, I feel like we're in a really good rhythm. Whether it's on the ground game in the air, I think we're just right now a good start for our week, but a good training camp. Way to get ready to go into season with a practice like this. I think our offense and our team is poised for a good opener.
You talked about how it's good to finally get going. Is it weird that the Matthew Stafford trade happened and then you have to wait 7.5 months to actually have a game with him?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of talk. That's how all seasons are. A lot of what ifs, what is supposed to happen. But I think for us, it's really just working. I think for us being able to get with Stafford in the off season, throw, pick his brain, get out here on the field, whether it's high school, just being on the grass and getting with him. We got a lot of time to work on our game and get prepared for a season with him. Have some time with him in our offense. Really, I think he's grasping this offense really poised and really just a good unit and a good quarterback to go with.
Obviously, it's still early in the week for game preparation, but with Stafford, what's his game week mentality or his game week demeanor like with you guys?
Right now, I would say poised. You see him in the meeting, asking questions, pick McVay's brain about what he wants from a certain look, but really just going out there and just executing what we want in the game plan, getting it done at practice, and getting ready to do that on Sunday.
You talked about in this regular season when you played on Sunday night. Is it the first catch of the game, or is it just the atmosphere being on the first? So when you kick and say, "Oh yes, now it's time for regular season"?
I'll say that. I don't know. I want to say when I first come out there on the field and warm ups, but it might even be just pulling into the stadium, seeing that stadium. Seeing Century, seeing Perry filled up with Rams fans. So I think the excitement just might be building up as soon as we get to Inglewood and seeing everybody getting ready to see the Rams come out and play in our home stadium.
Thank you.
Robert, how do you know the rhythm and timing will work game one when you haven't had any games with Stafford?
Repetition, practice. It really is a timing thing. You go out there and you get out there on the field. I mean, obviously the defense and your opponent is trying to mess up your timing. But that's what you're working on as a receiver, your footwork, your hands, making sure they don't mess up your timing and technique. But other than that, it's kind of like practice. Once you get out there, what you do in practice, what you do in your workouts, it all. What you train, what you work out on, it shows on the field. So if you keep working on it, the timing is there. It'll show up on Sundays.
There's huge expectations. There's huge expectations for this team this year, and especially knowing the Super Bowl is in this town. Do you feel that around town?
No, I would say for us, I mean, we know we're a good team. We know we have good players. We know we have a good coaching staff. Obviously, we know we've been in big games. We've had some teams where it's a playoff team, it's a Super Bowl caliber team. Obviously, you look at our players, you look at our coaches. We have a high caliber team, high caliber coaches. So obviously, it is a big year for us, but when you look at it, it's always week to week. You go into the game. That week matters. The most important week there is. We're looking at Chicago. This is our team that we have to go through to get to the Super Bowl. We know it's the first one, but they're a roadblock right now. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I'm not obviously asking you to compare him to anybody, but in terms of being in the huddle specifically, and Matthew's down in that deep one-legged leg.
Yeah.
First of all, what's getting used to that like, and why does he do that? And then second of all, what are some things, maybe details like that you've noticed from him?
Yeah, it's funny. I definitely noticed. So you noticed it too. His stance, getting into the huddle. That long reach back leg, really stretching out back there. But he's a rhythm guy. I think he does what he does every single time. Repetition works for him, and I think we saw that just in training with him, having some of the longest throwing sessions. in my career, but just him just wanting to work his craft, wanting to work his arm release, his mechanics. He's a technician. I think you see that out here at practice, and we saw that since day one when we got with him. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See that.
Obviously, before, is it a little bit tougher to just keep this one even keel? I mean, a lot of hype surrounding Sunday's game and your debut with the Rams.
No, I mean, I feel like I'm excited every time. You know, every time the season starts, we put a ton of work into this. You know, you guys see us out here practicing in the summer and leading up to it, but there's so much work that goes into this, you know, starting months ago. So it's just an exciting time to go out there and be able to go play against somebody else. We've had a great camp and a nice little start to the week here. We get to go against a great defense every single day. They get to go hopefully against what they feel like is a really good offense, giving them tests. So it's fun. It's fun to finally kind of get out there and go play somebody else and see where we are.
Matthew, does the energy around the building shift when you do finally get into game week?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the focus is so different. You know, we're obviously still trying to get ourselves better. This game is, in the end, always about us as the Rams playing our best football, no matter who we're playing. But there's a little bit more attention to who's on the other side of the ball, what do they like to do, who are their best players, all these kind of things, how you go and win the game, and that's a fun part of it as a player, especially as a quarterback. Kind of the chess pieces and how they all match up and how you make make plays on offense.
With everything around here still being somewhat new to you, is there some comfort in the fact that the Bears are a team that you're really familiar going against?
Yeah, I mean, I know a bunch of the guys on their team. I've played against a bunch of those guys. They've got a new defensive coordinator, so that'll be different and new for us. Some new players in some different spots, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm used to seeing the Bears, a couple times a year, and I'm just going to be wearing a different uniform playing them this time.
Has this wait from the trade to finally playing been long for you, or has it filled up with work? Have you needed that time?
Yeah, I mean, both. I feel like I definitely needed all the time I can get. I'm still going to continue to learn and try to be better in this offense. As I go, I've said that before. But it definitely feels like it's time to go play football too, which is a lot of fun. There's a game tomorrow night, and this thing gets going. There were games this weekend that were fun to watch. So it's football season again, and that's a lot of fun.
When you go against this great defense out here, from a rhythm and timing standpoint, is that a 89% match, a 99% match versus a game situation?
Well, the red jersey out here makes a little bit of a difference. They're not hitting me. So that's obviously, something that is a difference maker. But as far as the back end, I mean, our guys are as good as anybody I've, played against, practiced against, any of that. So that's a great test for us, making sure that we're getting the ball out on time. Even though sometimes they're not hitting you, you can tell when a defensive line is getting into the backfield. All those things are true. But I think that's one of the fun things about being here is take pride in stressing each other. They stress us, as an offense, and hopefully we stress them, on the defensive side of the ball to make sure that they're, playing at a high level.
Matthew, I know the vision for this offense is going to be an evolving process, but just how much are you looking forward to finally getting a chance to kind of debut and show that in a live game setting after collaborating with Sean for the last 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to just go play ball. I love doing this. Big, a bunch of different changes for me this offseason too. Battle through a bunch of things. Move my family across the country. I want to go play some football and do it with a group of guys that I've, in a short period of time, grown to just absolutely love and respect. I mean, all these guys on this team are incredible. Just the way they practice, the way they go about their business, coaches included. Just excited to go out there with these guys as a team and see what we got.
Matthew, when you get into a huddle and there's been some conversation about your back leg kicking way back out there. First of all, when did that first come about for you? Why did you pick that?
I don't know. I used to get down on the knee. I probably will at some point again. But I used to get down on the knee, and then I ended one season with a really sore knee, and realized that I had my whole patella was like a bone bruise basically, and I was like, why is this thing so sore? And like, well, if you can not take a knee on it 150 times a week, that would probably help. So that kind of started it. So I guess maybe old age, just trying to keep it easy on the joints. But I don't know, for some reason I like being underneath, talking to the guys up.
Yeah, and like, what do you look for? Do you look at eyes? Do you watch body language? What do you?
All of it. Some of it is, play specific. You're talking to a certain guy, giving him a simple reminder, or other times you're just making sure that everybody can hear you and making sure nobody's looking at you, telling you to give it again. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that when you do it for 12 years, you kind of know what you're doing without thinking about it. You just go in there and call the plays and try to get the guys on the same page. So, I don't think too much about it. These guys are giving me some hell about having my leg out there too, but you know what? Whatever. I know. Yeah, I'll work on it for you.
Matthew, can you give us just thumbnails on what you've seen from Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Deshaun Jackson, just individually?
Yeah. Robert and Cooper, have been doing this in this offense at such a high level for such a long time. It's really impressive to see them come out with, a day like today, just the incredible energy that they have. Attention to detail. Both those guys are so dialed in on what we're trying to do, whether we're asking them to block, run routes, block for their other receivers, whatever it is. They're always just down to execute for our offense, and that's an awesome thing to have as a quarterback when you have receivers that are willing to do whatever it takes. Deshaun's new in this offense. His role is evolving. He's been as good a deep threat as anybody in the NFL for a long time. He still looks like he can run to me. And I'm having a bunch of fun working with him. I've been a fan of his for a long time from afar, watching him go over the top on people for years. So it's fun to be, on the back end of that, throwing it to him.
You've only had Sony Michel for a short amount of time, but how is that progression going?
I'm really impressed. I'm impressed with his ability to, to grasp this offense. I know it's quite a bit different terminology and schematically from what he's used to, but just testament to him for being a true pro. TB's doing a great job of coaching him up. He's learning, even in reps that he's not in. I know that he's back there learning, trying to figure out, how can I help this team as soon as I possibly can. He's got a great group in there with him, but I'm impressed with his ability to, just be on the same page with us. I never feel like I'm in the huddle having to explain extra to him. He's just ready to go, and that's an impressive thing.
A couple adjectives to describe what fans can expect to see from this offense on Sunday.
I don't know. I think like every offense in the NFL, we want to be physical. We want to be physical. We want to be tough. We want to be efficient. We want to be explosive. If we can do all those, it'd be pretty darn good. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that's kind of how we go. We want to make sure that we're physical both in the run game and in the pass game. Efficient on first and second down, and then keeping drives alive on third down. Then when we get our chances, to be explosive, just doing everything we can to try and hit those. Sounds like a perfect game plan to me. It doesn't always happen that way, but I think that's, as an offense, the identity that we're going to, work to build.
And what was behind the thought of you and your wife donating 100 tickets to some of the Rangers?
Obviously, my wife's brother served in the Air Force for a while. I've had some family members that have served in armed services. I got to give a lot of credit to Kelly. She's an incredibly thoughtful person and caring person, and when some of that stuff was going on, she was immediately trying to figure out how we could help. The Rams did a great job of kind of helping us through that. Hey, how do we do this? We're new here. We don't really know how to do all those kind of things, where we'd have been, able to know exactly what to do when we were in Detroit. But the Rams did a great job of helping us. Just a way to give back and a way to say thank you.
You had a lot of highs and a few lows against the Bears. Does any particular memory stand out?
Oh, man.
You've beaten them more than any other team.
I don't know. There are a bunch of games come to mind. I can't think of just one. I loved playing there. It was always a hostile environment, a tough place to play. One of the games that comes to mind, I wasn't even playing in. I got hurt in 2010 opener. I got hurt at halftime. Peppers got me and knocked me out, and that was the game that Calvin caught the touchdown at the end of the game and stood up without the ball, and they called it a no catch. That was the Calvin Johnson catch rule. Big thing in Detroit. You guys probably weren't paying attention, but yeah, that was one. There's a bunch down the road. It's always a great battle when we play those guys. I'm just excited to get a chance to go out there and play on Sunday.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.